Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Barraza.
And I'm Andres Valle. The Aggies men's basketball team is getting ready for their big trip to Tulsa.
The team is facing a challenge from the Baylor Bears at 10:40 in the morning on Friday. Tickets to the game went on sale yesterday. They're going for $100 each. Sales are slow here at the Pan Am Center ticket office. Not a lot of people are planning such a short notice trip, but they are getting calls from out of town, especially alums in Tulsa.
So a lot of people from out of town call from other teams and everything that their tickets ran out, so they buy tickets from us, you know.
If you want to see the team off and wish them good luck, you can do that tomorrow morning. They'll leave from the South Pan Am Center parking lot. Be there at 8:30. The bus will leave at 9 o'clock sharp. Come on out and support the Aggies, and Coach Weir, Nolan Fox will have more on the game later in sports. And the Aggie women are saying, don't forget about us. They're also going to the NCAA tournament,
where they will be playing one of the top seeds. As Blas Maestas reports, they all gathered last evening to hear that news.
And it sure was a beautiful day.
It was. It's so great. It's like spring is in the air.
It is. And Jessica is next with your first look at weather.
Good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions. So right now we're looking at some sunny skies with the temperature at 77. Winds coming from the northwest at 2 miles per hour. Humidity at 9%. Dew point at 17 degrees. And our barometer at 29.97 inches. Today we saw a high of 82 degrees, which is well above our average of 70 degrees. We hit an overnight low of 47 degrees. Our record high was at 84 degrees back in 2007, so we almost tied up that record today. And our record low was in 1988 with a low of 23 degrees. We didn't see any rainfall today, so our yearly rainfall still sits at 2.13 inches. I'll be back later to take a look at your national forecast.
And the Aggie women are saying, don't forget about us. They're going to the NCAA tournament,
where they will play one of the top seeds. As Blas Maestas reports, they all gathered last evening to hear that news.
Yesterday, the Lady Aggies had quite a wait to find out who they would be playing in the NCAA tournament.
It was just anxious, ready to find out who, we were going to play. Just waiting so long was just like making my palms sweat. But we found out, and I think everyone's ready.
After watching 3 regions be selected, they were finally chosen to be the 15th seed in the 4th and final region.
The New Mexico State women's basketball team have won 3 straight WAC titles. They will now head to Manhattan, Kansas to take on Stanford. This is what Mark Track had to say about their selection.
And hey, we are ready to play Stanford. I don't think the kids are scared. It's going to be a great experience.
And the NMSU Director of Athletics believes playing on a neutral court will help level the playing field.
So we'll be in Manhattan, Kansas. I think that's a great opportunity for us because Kansas State, they'll have a huge crowd. I think they'll be rooting for New Mexico State, a state school, an ag school.
The Lady Aggies will tip off against Stanford this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time. For News 22 Sports, I'm Blas Maestas.
Governor Susana Martinez has vowed to veto outright tax increases in the past, but the New Mexico Senate has approved some increases anyway. The tax increases are designed to make up funding for public schools. The Senate budget would increase money for public schools and the courts. The courts have struggled to pay salaries, compensate jurors, and provide attorneys to poor defendants. The bill also cuts funding to state universities, colleges, and specialty schools by 1%.
And one thing that has an effect on the state budget is the price of prescription drugs. The state pays for drugs through retirement programs and other benefits. One bill would require the state to do a better job negotiating the drug prices. It would create an interagency pharmaceutical purchasing council. Estimates are that it could save New Mexico up to $100 million per year in prescription drugs costs. It has passed the state Senate, and now it goes on to the House.
Education in New Mexico could benefit from increasing tax on cigarettes. The legislation, SB 231, would increase cigarette taxes $1.50 per pack. It would bring in an annual revenue of $89 million for the state. From kindergarten to the 12th grade would benefit from the funds. Supporters say raising the tax will also reduce the number of smokers.
National Kick Butts Day has arrived. Kick Butts Day is a day that encourages all public schools towards a 24/7 tobacco-free status. 9 high schools across New Mexico will be hosting events on Wednesday, March 15th. Kick Butts Day was created in 1996 by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. It focuses on encouraging kids to stand up and speak out of the dangers of tobacco products.
For years, the Republican Party has said it will have a bill to replace the Affordable Care Act.
And after a couple of months, they have one. But as Phil McGillett reports, estimates will have many people without health insurance.
Republican leaders are now scrambling to contain the fallout from a devastating Congressional Budget Office report. As Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell today made clear, changes will come. They will come in the Senate.
I mean, it'll be open to amendment in the Senate, like all reconciliation bills are.
As the Trump administration continues to attack the veracity of the numbers altogether.
This is exactly what we thought the CBO would come forth with. They're terrible at counting coverage.
For GOP leaders, a hint of good news in the report, most notably the deficit savings, $337 billion over 10 years. And the projection that overall premiums would drop by an average of 10% by the time the GOP plan fully takes hold. But the top line number of uninsured, 14 million by next year, 24 million by 2026, sparking new Democratic attacks and mockery of the Republican Party.
No one wants to claim this bill. If it's so good, why aren't they rushing to have their names on it? Trump wants to call it Ryan Care. Ryan wants to call it Trump Care. It's classic Abbott and Costello. If it's so good, why don't they want their names on it?
The political fallout from newspaper headlines across battleground states to inside the GOP conference itself, leading to accusations that the GOP's three-step strategy, an initial bill, regulatory actions followed by legislation requiring Democratic support, is fiction.
The repeal for the Affordable Care Act would leave 14 million people without health care. U.S. Senator Tom Udall does not agree with the replacement of the Affordable Care Act. Without Obamacare, millions of people would stay without health care. Udall says he will stand up and to the plan that would hurt New Mexico health system.
And stay tuned, Jess Nevadas will be back with your national forecast.
And later, Javier Gutierrez takes us to a carnival of cannabis. More on that when News 22 continues.
Hi, I'm Edmundo Resendez, host of Fronteras, A Changing America. Each week on Fronteras, we discuss issues that are important to our community, issues that affect our daily lives. If you value the service KRWG-TV provides, help us reach our goal of $35,000 and 100 new members by pledging online at krwg.org during KRWG Spring Festival. It's a wonderful time to give. Pledging online only takes a couple of minutes and goes a long way in ensuring that KRWG-TV will be here for you when you need it most. Thank you.
We aim to make Nightly Business Report every night the definitive business show of record.
We always will cover healthcare, jobs, the major economic stories of the day.
We have a reach that I don't think is matchable by anybody who is dedicated to business news as we are.
Nightly Business Report is the longest running business television program on the air. It proves how valuable it really is.
Weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters.
There won't be a hemp industry in New Mexico anytime soon.
Governor Susana Martinez vetoed the hemp bill. Supporters say the bill would have created jobs and raised $600 million in revenue for the state. The legislation passed in both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Martinez vetoed the bill on Saturday without explanation.
Many states who moved towards legalizing marijuana are now seeing some payback.
New Mexico still hasn't legalized marijuana, but some are trying to educate others about its benefits.
Cannaville. It isn't your average carnival. Instead of rides and games, they have marijuana and glass blowing. And as for the food, well, that part is still the same. Here at Cannaville, vendors as well as local New Mexico businesses get together to further educate the public about all things marijuana. They had doctors on site to see new patients, and medical cards were only $50.
What we're trying to achieve here is trying to bring the whole entire community together. That way they can bring awareness, education, and just to grasp the whole concept of what we're trying to do here, which is get medical cannabis out in the open to assure people that it's very beneficial.
As New Mexico may move closer to potential legalization, some out there want people to be safe when choosing cannabis. Dr. Deanna Bacum is one of those folks. Spotting safe cannabis and improving it is her job.
We are actually a state-certified lab from the Department of Health. Everything that runs from the producer to the patient needs to be tested and can only be sold if it passes some of the tests that we have.
Events like this also help local New Mexico marijuana businesses get in touch with clients who come to these events. Ben Barreras makes cannabis products in Albuquerque. He doesn't mind coming to these events to spread his product.
We specialize in light hydrocarbon solvents and edibles. We can do topicals, capsules, suppositories, pretty much. If you can think of it, we can put weed in it.
The marijuana legalization movement may still only be beginning in New Mexico, but Cannaville will continue to promote its benefits. Javier Gutierrez, News 22.
And Cannaville will be touring around New Mexico in the upcoming weeks. The next stop is Roswell.
According to figures released Monday by state and federal labor officials, New Mexico has the worst unemployment rate in the nation. January's jobless rate of 6.7% remained unchanged from the previous month, but that's still an increase over the 6.5% according to a year ago. The employment outlook has added a fuel to a fiery debate in the New Mexico legislature, where Democrats have blasted Governor Susana Martinez and her administration over the stagnant economy.
It could be that Spaceport America is finally seeing a bright future. Boeing has had a successful test flight there. The Starliner spacecraft was sent about 40,000 feet into the air before dropping to simulate re-entry speeds and evaluate the capsule's safety for human use. The Starliner successfully parachute landed on the White Sands Missile Range. Boeing says it's moved one step closer to getting astronauts to the International Space Station.
The Netflix series Longmire has begun shooting its 6th and final season up north in Las Vegas, New Mexico. The Las Vegas Optic reports that last week showed where producers issued a casting call for extras in Las Vegas and other northern New Mexico cities. The contemporary crime drama is set in Wyoming and is based on the Walt Longmire mystery novels authored by Craig Johnson.
Centennial High School was on lockdown on Monday morning for suspicious of a student with a gun. After the lockdown was lifted, a bullet hole was found in a school window. The bullet hole was on a building C on the east side of the campus. The bullet hole went through the window and was stuck on a metal grating inside the building.
When we were searching and just checking the campus just to make sure everything was safe and all the buildings were secured, as when staff had noticed the hole in the window.
Gregory believes the bullet was fired over the weekend from practice targets.
A man in Otero County was arrested after trying to steal a car.
That's the first story in tonight's Crime Brawler.
And it was what has been a beautiful week.
It has. It's been pretty nice. You know, spring is already in the air.
Spring is in the air, and Jess can tell us more about it with her national forecast.
Y'all are very right. Spring is in the air, but not for all of the nation. As you'll see here, spring is making its way in Reno at 70 degrees, Las Vegas at 88 degrees, Albuquerque at 78 degrees, and Houston at 68 degrees. But now, let's take a look at this side of the map. Look how cold these temperatures are. We see Atlanta at a 45-degree temperature right now, Chicago with some snow at 26 degrees, and Washington at 40 degrees. On my next map, let's go ahead and talk about this. So in the eastern part of the U.S., you'll see potential snowfall that could be happening with gusts of winds up to 60 miles per hour. So if y'all are traveling this way, just be very cautious and be very aware that there will be some travel delays. On my next map, you'll see the complete opposite. So you'll see that between Yuma and Palm Springs, that there is going to be 90-degree temperatures. That's right, folks. Highs of 90 degrees are already hitting in spring this way. I'll be back after the break to take a look at your New Mexico forecast.
Welcome to an exciting new season of New Scandinavian Cooking,
the international cooking series that explores Scandinavian cuisine, culture, and history.
Thursday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG.
Hello, Tommy James here, inviting you to join me on a time-tripping visit back to the songs of the psychedelic 60s on My Music.
Crystal blue persuasion. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Thursday at 7 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Critics are raving about Victoria.
You cannot lecture me.
The world will be watching. You are a queen.
I am not a piece of clay to be molded by any hand.
She will not be ruled.
Fire!
When you give your heart, it will be without hesitation.
Victoria, Sundays at 9/8 Central. Or watch the full season now, exclusively on Passport.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at our New Mexico temperatures. You'll see Farmington sitting at 66, Santa Fe at 61, Clovis at 70, Las Cruces at 77, and Deming at 77. All pretty high temperatures. So for tomorrow, we can expect those temperatures to stay the same. Farmington at 75 degrees, Albuquerque 77 degrees, Socorro 80 degrees, Roswell 84 degrees, and Deming at 84 degrees as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our sister cities. In Alamogordo, you can expect some clear skies tonight with a temperature at 72. Tomorrow, sunny skies at 83 degrees. In TRC, you can see clear skies at 78 degrees right now, so pretty warm still. Sunny skies tomorrow at 85. In Silver City, clear skies as well at 68 degrees. Sunny skies tomorrow at a high of 77 tomorrow. And in beautiful Las Cruces, expect some partly cloudy skies right now at a temperature of 77 degrees, sunny tomorrow with a nice temperature at 86. I'll be back later to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
A man in Otero County was arrested after trying to steal a car.
That's tonight's first story on tonight's Crime Blotter.
Police say 21-year-old Nathan Billingsley shot and killed his grandmother at her home outside of Houston on Sunday. Deputies found Hazel Billingsley's body wrapped in a blanket in a metal shed. Family members say he had threatened to kill his mother and grandmother. Investigators say Billingsley confessed but says it was an accident. Police say 2 home invasion suspects were shot in Las Vegas Monday night. One of them died. Police say 2 homeowners were bound with tape, but one of them broke free, got his gun, and shot the men. One man was found dead in the backyard. Police say the other one drove to a hospital with a gunshot wound to his buttocks. And an Albuquerque couple is accused of kidnapping, beating, and threatening to kill a teenage boy. Police say they wanted to teach the boy a lesson because he carjacked them. Police say they kidnapped the teen on Wednesday, then drove to Los Lunas, where they threw him into a 5-foot hole. The boy says they blindfolded and tortured him. I'm Yvonne Del Rio with the Southwest Minute.
My apologies, that was the Southwest Minute. Now, a man in Otero County was arrested after trying to steal a car.
And that's the first story in tonight's Crime Blotter.
An Otero County man is being charged with unlawful taking of a motor vehicle and burglary of a vehicle. Tyler Quirk was arrested Saturday. The owner heard noises outside his house and found Quirk inside. Quirk tried to run but was chased down by the owner. Quirk is in jail with a $1,000 bond. A former soccer coach is under arrest for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Victor Gutierrez allegedly took a 16-year-old student to get her nipples pierced. The girl says Gutierrez took her to the shop during lunch. Her parents discovered the piercings when they were notified she was absent from class. Gutierrez is out of jail after posting a $10,000 bond. And a Navajo Nation police officer was shot and killed in a remote New Mexico community Sunday. Houston James Largo stopped 2 people in a vehicle while responding to a domestic violence call. He died hours after arriving at the UNM hospital. Largo was the first officer killed in New Mexico this year. I'm Whitley Newberry, News 22.
And Nolan Fox is next with sports.
Thanks, Andres. Coming up in sports, the Aggies are set to go dancing. I'm Nolan Fox, and News 22 Sports is next.
We aim to make Nightly Business Report every night the definitive business show of record.
We always will cover healthcare, jobs, the major economic stories of the day.
We have a reach that I don't think is matchable by anybody who is dedicated to business news as we are.
Nightly Business Report is the longest running business television program on the air. It proves how valuable it really is.
Weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
At a recent KRWG coffee visit, we talked with KRWG fans about why they value public media.
Music, talk shows, everything that I would want to listen to.
They got me hooked once I started listening. Complete news without a bias.
If you can support it, you should support it.
Become a member online at krwg.org or call 1-888-922-5794. Thank you.
This is KRWG TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back, and hold on to your socks because I'm Nolan Fox with News 22 Sports. Get your brackets ready. The Aggies are going dancing. The Aggies men's basketball team overcame a 13-point deficit comeback win against Cal State Bakersfield in the championship game on Saturday. It's the sixth time in the last 8 years that they've gone to the tournament, and they'll play against the Baylor Bears.
I mean, we go into every game trying to win. It wasn't really something we talked about at the beginning of the year. We just want to win the next game and take our whole season one game at a time. That's what we've done all year long, and we just kind of went game by game throughout the tournament and obviously won the final game against Bakersfield.
We lost last year to the team that we beat, so you know, we were focused all year. That was one of our big goals, and so it just feels great. You know, we feel really good about ourselves and as a team.
The Aggies are the 14th seed in the East region, while Baylor is the 3rd seed. And number 14 has won each of the last 6 tournaments, so don't be so quick to count the Aggies out. While the New Mexico State basketball teams are celebrating, the Aggie baseball team is coming off a tough weekend in Salt Lake City. The Aggies lost 2 of 3 to the Utah Utes, who won the Pac-12 championship last year. The Aggies lost 5-1 on Friday and again on Saturday, but they won 3-0 on Sunday. Tonight they'll stay in the Beehive State to take on BYU. And tonight's play of the day is brought to you once again by John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Check it out.
If you're big on the perimeter with an Andrew Wiggins or Ricky Rubio shooting a jump shot as well, gets that to go unbelievable right on his hip, and that's what you want to do if you're a point guard or anybody in a ball screen. If you got that guard trailed. Wow, when you think about the teams that the Timberwolves have gotten.
And that's all for sports tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more sports action tomorrow, but still ahead on News 22, we'll be back with a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, a popular form of potatoes is celebrating its special day. Find out more when News 22 returns.
News doesn't stop on Friday at 7:30 at night. PBS NewsHour Weekend is kind of a natural next step. The NewsHour's been committed to being available on air or online, and now weekdays or weekends. There's no shortage of news that's out there, but why do people come to us? To give them some context and analysis that they can't find somewhere else.
Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Each week, join Charlie Rose for a recap of the week's biggest stories with in-depth analysis and fresh perspectives.
I'm asking.
Enjoy lively interviews with top newsmakers. All this and more on Charlie Rose the Week.
Friday at 7:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Let's take a look at our top stories. The NMSU men's basketball team is leaving tomorrow morning to begin the NCAA tournament. Flight tests at Spaceport of America are showing good signs of astronauts heading out to space soon. And Javier Gutierrez showed us a great time at the Cannaville.
Bet you can't eat just one. Apparently, none of us can. That's why potato chips get their own day. National Potato Chip Day. Potatoes are the country's #1 snack food. According to the Northern Plains Potato Growers Association, the average American eats over 4 pounds of potato chips a year. That's a lot of potato chips.
Definitely. It totally is. It's been a wonderful week, and what's in store?
Well, more sun, definitely. So we'll see some more sun coming our way all week, in fact. So we'll see sunny skies all week with temperatures all in the high 80s. So get those shorts out, get those flip-flops out. It is going to be a hot one. Our low temperatures are still pretty nice. Our lowest at 48 degrees tomorrow, and our highest on Saturday at 52 degrees. But like I said, nice sunny weather. Finally springtime and allergy time and all that fun stuff.
Well, that's perfect weather for spring break. So
definitely spring break ready.
Yes, we are spring break ready.
And that is all for News 22 Tuesday. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night as we go ahead and see you for more news.
I'm Andres Valle.
I'm Melissa Barraza.
And I'm Jessica Nevadas.
Good night.
Good night.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving